What's up? What's up? How you guys doing out there tonight? It's Mike. I'm back out. I'm back on tonight. Came on to do a short Soberheadz message of the day. My partner, he's out of town handling some business with his family, but I wanted to still carry the message tonight. I hope everybody had a good day. I had a good day at work. Fantastic day building with some of the kids. Had a great group with the adults. Those adults be working hard trying to help themselves get better, man. And I just try to carry the message. And then I went to the gym, trying to get that on, trying to stay healthy. You know what I mean? And now I'm just chilling, man. Because somebody put like a one on there or something like that. If anybody can hear me out there, I want to make sure that I'm not being muted. I'm gonna turn on my phone and see if I can hear it out my own phone. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day, and everybody is enjoying themselves. So I'm gonna get into the a couple of the things that I'm gonna read today and talk about it. Hopefully, the Most High will have it with his message could touch some people out there that's going through some things, especially when it comes to sobriety. Um, and I always thank him for allowing me to be in this position to be able to carry a message out to people about sobriety and more important what he did for me and how they could get closer to him. So I'm gonna start off with the AA thought of the day. It says, not my thought of the day, this is the AA thought of the day. After we had sobered up through the AA program, we gradually began to get a peace of mind and serenity, which we never thought were possible. The peace of mind is based on a feeling that fundamentally all is well. Does that not mean that all is well on the surface of things? Little things can keep going wrong, and big things can keep on upsetting us. But deep down in our hearts, we know that everything is eventually going to be all right now that we are living sober lives. Have I achieved deep down inner peace? Wow. That's very deep, man, because I remember first getting into sobriety, and it was hard for me to really accept good things that was happening and to have that inner peace that everything was going to be all right, because I was still dealing with Paul's post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And it says that, you know what I mean, it take like between 18 months and 2 years for your brain to go back functioning like it was before you ever picked up alcohol or drugs. You know what I'm saying? So it took me some time to be able to get my brain back wired like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And then as I grew in the spirit, I started to understand that in sobriety, things is gonna happen. Sobriety doesn't shield you from going through situations. Sobriety just has you in touch with God and has the spirit to help you be able to deal with the situations and handle the situations. You know what I mean? So the little things are gonna come up. Things are gonna happen throughout the day that's gonna upset you, but you're gonna be able to see yourself keep getting better and better, being able to deal with it. You know what I mean? And then we got to turn to the Most High and lean on Him when things get stressful, and try to see, not to pray for Him to have it stop, but to pray for Him to give you the strength to get through it, because that's where we get the lessons. We get the lessons when we go through the situation and get to the other end of it. Then we get the lessons of what everything was about. You know what I mean? And then that just takes me to a scripture that that is in that I could use to on this on this subject. But the thing they changed the what's the names on me. Where's the share thing at? It must got a new format. All right, hold on. Here we go. Bring out the scripture. And it says, Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for the good to them who love the Most High, to them who are called according to His purpose. Yeah, man. So now that I know that I'm living in His purpose, so I understand that it's gonna work out eventually in the end. But I'm not gonna lie and say that I always felt that was gonna happen, that I always was safe and understood that in the end of all of this, it was gonna work out. But I had to keep plugging, I had to keep doing, because once God's calls you for your purpose, he's gonna allow you to go through some things so you could get better and he could sharpen you up. But he's not gonna let nobody just knock you off of your purpose. You know what I'm saying? With the way we get knocked off our purpose is if we yield to temptation and we start going off trying to do our own thing, and then we get our will back and we start thinking that we the one created this and we're the one that gets the glory, and then putting yourself on a pedestal and start honoring yourself and start thinking you the man and start going back to all those lustful things, and then you start looking for the people to reassure you that you the best. Then you start looking for their approval, and then that's usually when things start to go left. You know what I mean? So I understand that it's gonna get tough. Things happen when you in this walk, and things happen. He, the adversary is gonna try to press you because now you already decided to choose a team. You know what I mean? I just saw a Cat Williams interview when he was on Carmelo Anthony joining. He said something like, everybody got to choose a side, whether you're gonna work for God or whether you're gonna work for Satan. And once you get baptized and you choose that side, that's when the real war starts. You know what I mean? Before that, they don't really be worried about you because you already down with them. But once you really, really come over to the other side, that's when you get pressed. And then that's when you got to step up and do what you need to do, or you're gonna fold. And the pressing don't stops as you go harder and harder trying to win souls and plant seeds and to bring souls over to him and let them know what you did, let them know what he did for you and things of that nature. They're going to try to press you more and more and more. Satan is going to try to press you more and more and more. You know what I mean? It was many times after I had a very good meeting or a good group session where the spirit was flowing well, then I'll leave out, and then on the way home, Satan to try to press me because he ain't like that. You know what I mean? He want to try to get me off the track because somebody in there in that session must have became curious about the Most High. You know what I mean? They talked to me after and asked me about how can I get closer to God and things of that nature. And Satan ain't like that. So now he like, yo, nah, I gotta get this guy off this track. I gotta throw something in his face. I gotta bring up something from his past. I gotta do something to make him feel that he's not worthy of be doing this job, so I could try to take him off track. And that's what happens when you out there. But I knew I signed up for that when I got baptized. The deacon that baptized me, when he pulled me out of water, he told me, now get ready because the real war is about to start. You chose the side. So I understand that's part of it. I'm willing to give my life to this and just keep going and doing what I gotta do, man. So that's what I got right there for the thought of the day. Next, I'm gonna go to the prayer for the meditation of the day. Meditation of the day. You are climbing up the ladder of life, which reaches into eternity. Would God plant your feet upon an insecure ladder? It supports you. It supports may be out of sight, hidden, or in secret places. But if God had asked you to step up on and up firmly, then surely he has secured your ladder. Faith gives you the strength to climb steadily this ladder of life. You should leave your security to God and trust him not to let you fall. He is there to give you all the power you need on climbing. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that hit, man. I remember being in having to have that faith when I started my business, man, B-Ball Spotlight, because I had people out there, you know what I'm saying, that told me like, yo, man, nobody's gonna look at this, nobody's gonna care about this. Um, but I just knew that it was something that I needed to do, and I had the passion, and I'm the type of person where like when somebody tell me that I can't do something or anything like that, or they try to block me, or I feel like they try to block me, it just gives me more ammo to just really want to go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where they're coming from with this. Do you have the faith, man? You know what I'm saying? Do you have the faith to keep going, understanding that the Most High has this plan for you? Do you have the faith to keep going up the ladder and don't look down? You know what I mean? Are you going to take your hands off the plow? You know what I mean? He said, the person that takes their hands off a plow and stops working are not worthy of the kingdom. Are you going to take your hand off the plow, or are you going to keep working and keep pushing? You know what I mean? And now I had to have the same uh thing when it came to doing podcasts. I kept saying I was going to do it. I had a conversation with somebody in the barbershop. That was the confirmation. And then I just had to go out and do it. I didn't know what I was doing. I never did one before. I had to learn how to what platform I was going to do it on. Then I found StreamYard. Then I had to know how to design everything. And my joint ain't super dope, but it gets it done. I think it's pretty decent for somebody that never designed a podcast background before. You know what I mean? So I had to work and do that. I had to get it going, man. I had to really try, because I knew that the Most High wanted me to share my story. He wanted me to share my experience, strength, and hope. He wanted me to talk about sobriety. He wanted me to be the voice, to be a voice for him. You know what I mean? Because I'm faceless in this situation. This is about him and what he wants me to do. And he wanted me to be able to try to plant some seeds out there and let people, especially people from my community, know that it's important. And you can get sober if you're willing to really put in the work and turn your life over to him and just let him drive the car for you, that you could definitely get sober. So I had to jump into the podcast, and now I was just did like 3 different ones. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the versatility that he gave me to be able to switch up. Like I could leave and I could talk about basketball, I could talk about from pain to purpose, and I could talk about sobriety. Whatever the spirit moves me into that day, that's what I'm liable to jump on and just hook it up and get at it. You know what I'm saying? And that's all praises to the Most High for giving me the ability to do that. But that comes in faith. You know what I mean? And then now it's on to the book. I had one of my calls today about the book, and the people that's helping me is like, yo, you're really breezing through this. You're really inspired to be able to write this story. And I just feel that the Most High wants me to be able to have it out there so people can read it and people can learn from it and people can know the things that I really went through. You know what I'm saying? And how I felt about the things that I went through and what was going through my mind, and how the Most High grabbed me and brought me out of all of this stuff and changed me into the person that I am today. You know what I mean? And it was on his time. I had no idea that my life would be like this, and what I'd be doing now definitely wasn't in the cards. You know what I mean? But what he did for me, he gave me that second chance. So I had to be able to go out there and do the book. You know what I'm saying? But the faith that he's talking about is similar to the faith that Christ wanted Peter to have when he told him to come walk on the water. You know what I mean? Christ was in the water and he told Peter to come walk on the water, and Peter was scared. Peter got on the water and was walking, but then when the wind blew, he lost his faith. And that's what the adversary be wanting us to do. He try to shake us up a little bit so you lose your faith, you lose your footing, you lose your ground on what you're supposed to be doing. And then you go back to your using using pleasures to distract yourself, because that's what we do the most when we don't have that relationship with the Most High. I know for me, I seek pleasure to distract myself from what was going on in my life, because I didn't want to face it and I didn't want to deal with it, not understanding that pleasure was just prolonging the inevitable, that the Most High was going to eventually have me crash out so I could become a soldier for him. And I had a choice. Once I crashed out, either I was going to go on and do what he wanted me to do, or it was going to be the bitter destruction for me. You know what I mean? I put a post up the other day with two lines with 2 different destinations. And one was like, you either go on the spiritual journey or you keep going down the road of destruction. And that's what he placed in front of me, because I ain't have no other choice at that point. And so I thought was the worst day of my life, was actually the best day, because that's when my new journey started. You know what I mean? So if you at that bottom right now and you trying to fight, Don't just keep going, man. Just go to him, surrender. Because the problem is we keep trying to fight it and fight it and fight it, and all we got to do is surrender. Because and understand that we can't beat the addiction, we can't beat the alcohol, we can't beat the drugs on our own. We need the Most High to carry us through it. And the reason that I was able to allow him to carry me through it was breaking down and confessing everything. And they say he covers those that confess their sins. He forgives them, but you got to really repent. And I was broken down, so I was able to do that. And then he just came in and took over. You know what I mean? And he understands that I'm a faithful servant. I don't care what other people think. I don't care if they think I'm strange or weird. I don't care about none of that. All I know is he gives me instructions. I got to go out and do the instructions. I'd rather answer to him than answer to any human being, because at the end of this, I want him to say, good job, my faithful servant. That's all I want, is that crown, and for me to be into eternity. I can't just sit here and think about, just imagine burning forever. Like hell is forever. And I can't, like, I'm just not trying to go down that road. So whatever I got to do to try to make sure that I got a spot in the kingdom, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm the type that I go over and beyond. I'd rather do too much than not do enough. So that's my attitude when it comes to all of that, man. So I want to thank you guys for listening. Like I said, these message of the day, since I'm on here by myself, is gonna be shorter. So I look forward to maybe talking to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Shalom.